Okay. I got Unity to break again. That's why I upgraded it. Please stop having problems. I think I'm just adding more problems by upgrading it. That's exactly what you want to see, right? Okay, we were having a conversation about the possibility of doing something. Also, hello. I do like how it's automatic, like catching messages before the hello. Yes, I don't know if a restart even was necessary. It just for some reason was not working earlier, but after a restart it seems to be working. And I did actually do. Hey, let's dump some more code into the version control. Okay, so yeah, this was the question: is that in the UI? So if it's in a UI layer, it is not picking it up. Of which we were trying to use this to debug if this. Can you change to be? No, it just is only selected. Because ideally, I'd like to see hovered. I'd like to see something other than just selected. Okay. I got level 23 done, so now on to level 24, and when that's done, I have 26 levels. Nice. Seems like a lot. Although I know, like, for that Block Dude 3D, I made 3 levels that were just tutorial levels out of the 6 that I had. So I really only had, like, 3 actual levels. That's one of those ones that, like, maybe one day I'd go back to that and like actually add some levels to it and stuff. Okay, so the one problem here being you hover over a UI element, it doesn't do the tooltip for these guys. But I kind of need them to be a UI element for this to pick it up. Or do I? So what if I do like this and make you like a post-processing? Why is the UI camera listed as post-processing? So if we do that instead. Pretty sure there's a reason I was having it in the UI layer. But if it was simply the fact that it's a UI item and I thought UI layer, then fixing it like this would be goofy as hell, but... Hey! Your input... Yeah, okay, that's why I did that. So no, they do need to be in the UI layer to be attached to the UI camera. Or at least that's how I somehow set that up. Oh, you aren't doing it either, are you? But it doesn't matter for this, because this doesn't have a bunch of text you're supposed to be reading. So... Why does this seem to say it's in the post-processing layer? And who or what is causing the... Okay, so is it something in the camera that is causing all this stuff to go under whatever UI? So some kind of camera thing? No, these are just basic camera controls. Yeah, okay. That's not related to the UI stuff. Still in the middle of a song in Beat Saber at the end of the last stream, but after the song was too exhausted to continue. Well, I guess it depends on what you were... The game does look like it can get pretty exhausting pretty fast. I mean, every single time, I'm just gonna remember the one dumb skip. It looks like a lot of low notes. Oh wait, this isn't Beat Saber. Master Skywalker. And so that's not related. So why in the heck? It's just so I could cram every culling mask. That's probably not the thing to mess with. There is a culling, but it's a rendering. That's not gonna be the... Camera? Okay, there. What? How did that murder my ability to zoom? What? What? Okay, did I mess with something else? Okay, just the UI. Other way around. Just the UI. Okay, please go back to normal. Using playing on export or export plus. Those are a bit fast. What? Okay. But since it's only... But it's only since this year. Last year I mostly got hard levels and some expert. I improved a lot in the last 3 months. Man, everybody's exercising too. Everybody's 6 feet tall and exercising. I'm doing something wrong here. I am 5 feet 2 and lazy AF. I'll get into a good healthy routine at some point somehow. I've got time now. The fluffin' heck. Here's your major malfunction there. Oh, I was actually going to use the ad break to go use the restroom. Just why I was letting it kind of happen. Okay. I will be back. Back? Am I still within the 60 seconds? It hasn't popped up with the bot to say results. Okay, so now I just need to figure out what the fluff and heck is with the UI layer not doing the thing. So if I switch the blocking mask to nothing, that's gonna mean like nothing gets through, right? As in, it's not gonna pick up any of the things. I would assume. But we'll see. Okay, so that does not matter. That doesn't seem to care at all. We're gonna set it back to what it was, but this doesn't appear to be doing anything. How was I doing the clicking again? The clicking was... because it does spawn runestone. I just need to get rid of that code. It's not doing anything. Here, spawn runestone. Which it does a physics raycast point and then that. Well, it's just the fact that... yeah, it's like technically I could do that. I don't know. I don't feel like thinking right now, which means I should not be coding then, right? But if I did that every single time, then I would get nothing done. I don't know. I think it's I either do bad work or I do no work, and I'd rather have done bad work than none. I don't have a main camera. I don't have a position, and then the raycast hit. I could pull over, but... yeah, I don't want you to have a camera. You should just do the thing. I don't know. Just if I yell at the computer, hey, just work. If I restart it, that'll add code that'll make it work, right? It seemed to fix the upgrading Unity, so a job worth doing is worth doing poorly. Well, it's again, ideally, a job worth doing is worth doing well, but in lieu of that, I think a job worth doing is a job worth doing poorly. Let's see, so if you can't say something nice, but you want to say something nice, should you say something? Yeah, done poorly is better than not doing at all. That's my philosophy, which is why I've cranked out so many bad games, but I think that's also why I don't have a job either. Because I just keep doing poor work. I keep doing bad work, and then somebody's saying, you know what? Maybe this guy, we don't really need him cranking out bad code, so... I don't know, it's tough. I think it's good to do things with your life. I think living your life is better than not living your life, but if you're not able to live it well, and then that affects other people... fucking heck, bruh. I mean, I need the fucking tooltip, though. Ideally, I need a lot of... I mean, I still need some more things. If, like, here's how to play the flippin' game. I need to fix up the tutorial so it actually has images and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure this runestone stuff was working. I'll just add some flippin' runestones and come loop around back to the tooltip thing later. Also, I am finite. Are you gonna say infinitely? No, I like the first one better. I'm finitely better than AI slop. I'm good enough for now. AI slop will get better than me. Boy, am I pessimistic. Okay, I'm gonna go do the push-ups. Let's see. Yeah, my back just keeps, like... It's in this weird limbo state of, like... Kind of good, but kind of just, like, a sharp pain all the time. But at least it's, like, less, like, when I'm bending over in a certain position. Hopefully that means it's healing. Okay, push-ups.
I stalk myself on the internet just to see what you'll find. I want your things and I miss you all the time. You make it look so easy, leaving everything behind. Things and things fight, I will fight. Miss you all the time. Things and miss you. Fight, I will fight. Miss you all the time. Things and miss you.
Okay.
Fight, I will fight.
Okay, that felt okay. Felt good to exercise. I just wish my back were feeling better. Okay. We're gonna just start adding rune stones. We're gonna do the basic AF nonsense. So, I want color bonuses, I want number bonuses, and whatever other easy stuff. Ah, fudge face. This is probably... I find that the sharp squares in the UI make things seem unrefined. The which sharp squares? Yeah, because even that is rounded. Because these are all rounded buttons. Rounded squares here. And the tooltip is rounded. Not rounded by, like, a lot, but, like... Oh, you're just saying in general. Sharp square UI tends to make things seem unrefined. Well, I think it's kind of, like, plain. I think you can pull it off. I'm vaguely thinking of something like Persona, or it's like... Yeah, I think when it is just a basic... Oh, I guess I didn't do it here. Yeah, this one specifically does not have the rounding on the edges. But that's because it's a plane. Although, do I slap like a sprite on there? Does it do anything? Because I think I have a rounded button sprite, right? No, I can do a circle. That's the game. No, I can't just slap something on the thing. I guess not. It's like some kind of texture. These aren't textures, those are sprites, but I don't know, just understand what I want. There we go. So now we do that one instead. Why does it look so heckin' funky? Don't I have like a rounded square as a sprite? Well, serious, I don't have a rounded square sprite. Okay, I bound to have one in my sprites or something, right? Or in my pictures? We're gonna do sprites first, because that's... I was like, I just saw it. Why did I label it that? I don't know. Okay, I really should be using... Let's see, where would I have that in? Here? In like Krita or something? Okay, we're gonna just make a rounded square then, because apparently I don't have one. Really. Didn't mean the buttons. Well, and I was trying to add it for the, that one. Okay, no, I should not be doing polish things right now. That is not what I should be working on. I want to be working on, one of these was resize canvas, and then canvas, we're gonna just set it to square. Okay, and then give me a rounded square. That's a rectangle. That's not gonna be a rounded rectangle. Do you have an ability to do it? You do have an ability to do a rounded rectangle, right? I just don't know how to use Krita, and now, well, actually, you should use an affinity instead. Okay, well. Unless there's an option in here. Because I know a lot of these have, like, options and stuff, too, where it's like, oh, you can tweak this to have other settings and stuff. Okay, I lied. You know what? That's not what I'm messing with. I'm trying to get the flippin' game done. So, you can stay like that, I guess. I keep thinking of this as a sprite, but this is like, this is a plane. It's something else entirely. Okay, let's just undo the thing that I did. It's gonna be not rounded for now, whatever. Okay. That's what I was a little afraid of, is I really should be pulling off of a... Yeah, okay, let's try tackling one of those things of... I can't pull off of a Google Drive, can I? Because that would make things a little easier. Probably... Because then I could just go straight to... Well, okay, this is my default, is that I'm going to here. So then I'm going to do a folder for database. It's not actually a database, it's just an Excel file that it's pulling from, but... then the question is, can I pull it off of a database instead? Well, I can cause it to ignore the first row or something, right? Okay, so what did I have in Unity for a runestone? Yeah, this is the real, like, meat and potatoes of making the game interesting as opposed to... Or making it super addictive instead of just interesting. Okay, name, description, upgrade. So name, description, and then the upgrade itself. Okay. Herm. Yeah, this does seem like it'll be a little easier to read if it's just crammed into Unity. But then I gotta figure out how to read it out of an Excel, of which I'm already pulling the tutorial from a file. So So hopefully that means it's not as bad to pull this information. What? It's just an equal. You're trying to turn it into a formula? No, no. Okay, can I say, like, just don't evaluate anything? Data validation, none. Oh no. So I can't do this in Excel because it's gonna try to do things? It's probably just gonna be the one case of that one thing. Unless the commas are gonna be things. Why did you do both of them? Okay, I lied. We're not gonna do it in Excel then if it's gonna be stupid. I don't know how to get it to not do the thing. Okay, I really didn't want to do that, but... Okay, so... So now I gotta figure out something like color. Or something like that. So this will be... I have absolutely no clue. This will be reds. And this will be... red buttons. Score. I don't know, like 10 points or something. Yeah, this feels like it should be a formula. So that each of these can say what kind of number upgrade they're doing. Those are separated though in the score manager or something, right? This feels like it should be separated into its own flippin' file. Because I know I even watched the flippin' video, the Jonas Tyroller video about here's how to break down code, and like, okay, here's logic versus here's like a data for the game versus. I'd have to watch that again. Although being almost a year in on this and then thinking about the infrastructure, not the way to do it. Okay, this score manager, aren't you around? Or no? Are you gone? Because I clicked camera controls? Aha. You are gone because I clicked camera controls. Okay, so... So is this determining... So the score manager has the info on like which each of these things score? Yes. It feels like it should be in a document, but then the document was just yelling at me about like, oh no, you can't just put random nonsense into the... I want you to not do any data validation. Why? Okay, so score manager, if I go look at whatever has the score manager, which is probably the game manager. Yeah, they're pair, palindrome, price. That's ugly. I want to separate these all into a file and then have everything read from the file, but then when I started putting the flippin' text in there, it just decided to completely balk at that idea. Okay. So, we're gonna try again. I was really hoping I could just put the thing in there, but can I do like neo-futuristic cyberpunk theme? I was like, I mostly listen to like chill electronic music, but you have me like, I do have some like vaporwave. Like I could listen to some vaporwave and see if that kind of matches. I haven't really thought too much about the soundtrack. I know Grindstone has like a hip hop related soundtrack that I absolutely love, so that's very tempting. But let's see, there is. Yeah, okay, I have at least one person that does some vaporwave. It's so good. The soundtrack is so good, and I didn't realize how much I like Grindstone. It's another one of those games I played for a bit. Thought it was neat. Yeah, mostly just a wordplay on cyberpunk and plunk. I realize that, but now you've started a conversation. Now you have to live with your the consequences of your actions. Now we're talking about what soundtrack would be good for the game. I feel like, again, it's much like the abstract part of the game. It's where I don't really want to commit to like a hard and fast, like a here is the... It's one of those things of like, how do you offer creativity for a game but also still have like a specific vision? Is the question. Because I want to offer a lot of creativity. No, but then now I'm like, I want to add a formula here that'll let me... Okay, but if I do like quotations, does that let me do... It does. Okay. So now I just need to remove the quotes from the thing. Okay, but then this also needs to be... How do I indicate that this is a space for... Okay, so there is a there is a possibility where just all of these, I just have the quotes in here that I remove when I actually pull it into Unity. So then we go back to the runestone. Yeah, this will let me make runestones a little faster, hopefully, kind of, sort of, maybe. But yeah, I do want to crank out the boring ones, like, you know, reds score better, yellows score better, twos score better. Which is like, well, if they're boring, why add them? And the answer is, well, because hopefully they will be combined with other things that are more interesting, so that you can then say, I saw the pattern and I stuck with the pattern and it continued to give me what I wanted. Yeah, and I was like, I don't think I can read it directly from this Google Drive doc either. Well, now that you got me thinking about a soundtrack, I like Vaporwave. I like Cyberpunk. I don't think it fits the kind of thing I'm doing. And like I said, what I want to do, the kind of hip-hop related soundtrack a la Grindstone. Tempting. Very tempting because of the fact that it's such a good soundtrack. I think it works with that game, too. I guess that's the issue, though, is that I'm not making the same game. Okay, and then this. Yeah, I'm getting close to the point of like actually making the game real instead of just a bunch of ideas, and that is fucking scary. Like 20? I don't know. Because it's just anytime you hit a red, just any red, it'll add some extra score to it. So it really doesn't need to be that much. 20 may or may not be too much, I don't know. Rolling over red buttons. Maybe. Game won't be real, it'll be unreal. Sorry for the bad pun. That is fantastic. That's also the kind of games I like to make. Games that are not real. Okay, I was just saying the vaporwave. Not really doing it, but this soundtrack's so good. It's so tempting to just like, hey, contact the guy and be like, Yeah, and then I don't know how to. I mean, adding the S on the end, probably not. Nah, let's just do it. Rolling over red, yeah, there. Yeah, then I can crank through all sorts of things. The yellow. There's probably a better way to do the description here too. Except I could get rid of the rolling over and then that just starts. But we'll see. I might get a little more well, no, I definitely will get a little more experimental with these. I'm just starting off with the like base stuff. Yeah, because then there's also the like positioning aspect of it, of like rolling over a button in a corner scores however many points. Try it on Unreal Engine. Perfect to make games that are unreal. I feel like I messed with Unreal Engine like once back in college, but college was many moons ago. As in like 10 years ago. No, 2014. Oh no, it's 2026. Man, that was my whole thing too. Was like, I'm gonna do my own thing, make my own games 10 years after college. And here I am doing that, I guess. Not by choice though. It was yet another like, hey, you have absolutely no clue what you're doing. Bye-bye. You don't seem to be very motivated to work for the military. Yeah, no, I'm not. You don't seem very motivated to work for an oil company. Yeah, no. You don't seem very motivated to work for insurance. Not really. Hey, well, this small business company, that's some interesting stuff, kinda, right? And then it's, hey, the professional bull riders, they want a website done in like a week with all sorts of stuff. Let's do 40 hours in 3 days. Ugh. I believe there's a job that I can make for myself. That's the real thing. Instead of trying to find a flipping job, I just go make my own flipping job. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I gotta have pie in here. And then there's a very specific thing of like rolling over 3141592653589799323 would be the, and that's as many digits of pi as I know. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put like pi into the thing either. I feel like I've been doing okay on drinking water, and then my kidney stone hurts too. Man, and when I was passing my kidney stone, I was having back pain. So it's every time I have back pain too, I'm like, is that kidney stone? And it's like, no. If it's your big nasty kidney stone, that's gonna hurt like absolute hell. But I've got a couple of tiny little baby kidney stones too, so it's really, I should lay off the cheese a bit, and I still have, is it raspberry flavored, like a raspberry pie? I haven't messed with that at all. I've never been a engineer. I've been a software developer. Very little knowledge of how computers actually work. Yeah, my degree was in game design, not actual useful things like engineering. Okay, so that is in the score manager though. Because right now it's just determining if it's this thing, then it's adding that. Oh, which is not the sequence detector thing. They're super fun. I have a degree. Yeah, I have a Bachelor of Innovation in Game Design and Development. That is my college degree that I got. Yeah, and it doesn't feel great that we did like a whole class on the Myers-Briggs and then find out, oh yeah, that's akin to like I guess mysticism. There's the, what's the word? Oh yeah, and ads are happening. Didn't I just take a break, an ad break for, I've been playing a whole bunch of Grindstone, and here I am listening to the soundtrack again. What's the flippin' thing? Horoscope. Yeah, Myers-Briggs has been kind of shown to be close to like a horoscope. So. Yeah, okay, real long, 2.5 minutes of ads. Again, I'm like, oh, I can make fun of people. Why? Why so mean? Okay, so yeah, these are sequences. But now I want something basic, like, hey, if it's red, if the button is red, it scores better. Oh, I don't have anything for, like, did I ever make an animation for the runestone to be, like, it pulses? Because that's probably a good idea. No. Because, like, yeah, I really need this to just do, like, a... Oh. Again, it's probably a... Just use Dewtween. Dadgummit. Done a little bit of many things, building my own digital clock that generates a maze every day with a custom PCB and an ad mega. Trying out hacking and reverse engineering. Look at how a computer works in very deep levels to the point of reconstructing it using only NAND gates. Jeez. Yeah, everyone knows curiosity killed the cat, but I'm not a cat, so I'm fine. Yeah, never tried. Well, and you were just talking about building a computer inside of another game. So, I've watched those kind of videos. I like watching those kind of videos of like, here's, what's his face, building a computer or a... Let me guess, there's like multiple YouTube videos I missed because it hasn't given me any of his stuff in quite a while. Yes. 6 months ago, yeah, okay. Okay, so that's good to know that there's even more of these videos too. And then there's a Doug video that I was gonna finish watching as well. Because I do like a Doug and a Doug. But I'm not crazy enough to be a VOD watcher with like Doug. Want to hear about this maze? Well, you could ask about the maze game. Phil was working on a maze game there for a bit, and then that also went the way of the dinosaur, like the many other projects, of which, you know, it's probably why we are here, is because I also have many projects that I've never finished. That is why I like game jams, is because even if you don't finish it, it's the end of the 3 days and you get to submit whatever you finished. It's like, too bad, so sad. That's just what you end up with, so. Okay, you're not anything. Please go away. I don't want to sign into Stack Overflow. Stop trying to get me to sign into Stack Overflow right now. It's not what I'm working on. It was, and it still exists, and it will continue. It will be continued eventually. That's what I keep telling myself too. Whereas, like, I will finish Routine, and then after I finish Routine, I will finish Slips and... Well, no, I'll finish Slip and Slime, and then I'll finish Routine, and then I'll finish World of Goo 2, and then I'll finish Dishonored 2. Ben Eater is also worth looking at. Is this like a YouTube thing, or... have I ever used the search engine DuckDuckGo? I feel like I've heard about it. Okay, wait. Let's look at a Ben Eater first. As in, let's just type in this. And then... I have not heard of Ben Eater. Because I've not gotten this deep into doing computer architecture. So... Okay, and I really don't need to be looking at DuckDuckGo. So I'm not. I'm gonna look at that later. Oh, is this... Did he do a video recently? Or is this just a thing to search DuckDuck? Okay. I'm not going to work on the runestone animation. That is not necessary right now. Okay, I just need to get it so that if you hit a red button, it'll score. Okay, two things. I want it to pull off of an Excel. This being the Excel of stuff here. Why did it default to these being to the side? Okay, so I can export this to an Excel. Oh, I guess, or whatever the... I could do whatever format. And then over here in Unity, I do have a thing for pulling in text, so I could maybe retrofit that to pull in. Thank you for the hydrate. The dialogue parser. Let's see, so if I take a whole bunch of sips in a row, is that chugging it? If I take a breath in between? Probably still is not spaced out enough, but... this might be looking up a tutorial for how to pull stuff from in Excel too. Okay, let's just make sure that I can do the... If you hit a red, it scores it. So this is not adding a sequence, but it is adding some kind of Yeah, and then I'm immediately trying to come up with like, okay, how am I going to generate all of the ideas for this thing? And I'm like, okay, well first I have different colors, then I have different numbers, then I have different positions of the buttons, and then I have different positions of the buttons temporally, as in like which button you hit first and which button you hit last. So those are all different things I can mess with for making upgrades. Okay, it's like adding it so that it, like, if you press red, that'll score better is not that bad. But it's because I'm trying to fit it into the rest of the stuff I already have. Then I'm like, well, shoot. I've made some assumptions that I need to then change yet again. Okay, now I am getting myself very lost here. I'm trying to figure out probably the prefab. Oh, then do I want like a color for the HSV? Not HSV. Hex code. Do I want to put a hex code? Okay, rune stones. Then the rune stone here has okay, so the selected... How's it doing it again? Selected upgrade is the one that picks it from the color palette. Which, the runestone color palette is like what and where. Okay, so that's the game manager then, that has the palette that it's passing over to the runestone then. Is that the case? Yes. So then what I actually want to do is do all of these colors again. No, okay, that's where I'm thinking actually the color of the thing, because then it would also need the and then I could pull the hex codes off of here, right? I'm doing the basic flippin' colors. Yeah, okay, so eventually I'll make a color palette that looks a little different. Now, I stray away from saying better. I don't make things better. I don't make things good. I make them different. But that's because good and bad don't exist. Good and bad is in the eye of the beholder. Which is convenient for bad actors. Y'all are in the wrong spot here. There we go. Red, orange, yellow. Green. Blue. And purple. Now what is one gonna be colored? I don't know. So that's the colors. So when I finally figured out how to parse this file and dump it into here, then I can figure out how to yeah, so then all of these colors also need to be pulled over. Oop. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I want a little bit of the not so interesting, like boring upgrades, and then I want a little bit of the interesting upgrades, and that's going to be a little more difficult to figure out how to do that, and then do that in the next week and a half. Okay, but at any rate, that is a start. If I can figure out how to parse from the Excel file, which I'm not doing just yet because I want to do the basic of like, how do I get it to just parse like, okay, here's a red. Which I started to do with this one runestone here, as in with this thing here. That is just red buttons, score. Okay, rolling over red buttons. Okay, let's score. Instead of will score, can I just say scores? It's probably easier. Yeah, whatever text I can decrease the amount of text. I want to decrease it because nobody wants to read anything anymore. And I really just need pretty pictures for these anyway. Yeah, that's something too. It's like instead of points, I could have these reward some other currency or something too. Right now, I kind of want to stray away from like having a whole store menu, but that's just because that seems like a lot, and I don't know. I just think there's other more interesting ways to do, like instead of just everything has to have a currency and you buy it at the store. But maybe that's just me shying away from making some kind of store menu. Okay. So back to you. Now the question is, so the score manager, do I want to pass in a hex code or do I want to pass in a because it is, yeah, I do have it going off of colors a little bit. So Yeah, that's the thing. It's not a sequence. It's, well, no, I guess it's a sequence of red. Right now that, or a code of red. Okay, what was the code again? Oh, that was the 521. Okay, wait, so I had the numbers. Did this have the one for color too? No, that's ins specifically. So I could change this to number code, and then I could have one for like a color code, and then that color code just being red. That might be the way to go. Because that's what this is a number code. Where I tested those two different kind of sequences, and then I tested that as a code. And now this code just being... okay, so now who explodes? Okay, but this is where you spawn the runestone. Which that seems like pretty similar code here. Yeah, I'm like, wait a second. Why am I doing mostly the exact same thing here? It's because I'm doing this, which is the initialize runestone info. Yeah, which those are different. Okay, I already have initialized runestone. It's not initialized runestone, it's the words that I want to use again. Also, it's been an hour, I'm gonna sit. You're so old. Help me, I'm old, I'm old. Or more accurately, I'm in pain and my back hurts, so I keep done goofing it. Okay, I needed to change these. How do I do this in a way that does not reuse a bunch of code? Because there's just one slight change here, where it's just if its spawn position gets passed in. But yeah, the bottom half of this is the exact same, so I don't really want to repeat that. Let's see, I just passed in the runestone clone. Okay, no, I don't want to listen to this song. This is the end of level song for every single level. I'm good. Okay. It's literally just this line of code here. And this line of code here. It's the one change. Oh, and again, I said it This did not have a follow mouse thing, did it? So yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, meaning all of these are going to complain about having this extra variable on the end. What? Spawn runestones is a new vector 3, and then that's... That was not just a plain old variable. What? How did I... That's not a bool. Okay, whatever. We're gonna just undo what I did. Go back to whatever was working. I don't want to mess with it. I just thought I could get rid of it. But I don't understand my own code here. Missed the pack and now you're sad. Ruh-roh. You gotta be here spamming extend in the chat or you're gonna miss it. Okay, well, maybe you don't need to spam extend in the chat, but I guess it's better than saying, no, you're a missed pack. I have to give Pagorli some allowance to cheer him up. Okay. That's... let's give user... 1. Pagorli. Oh, I have the amount there. Okay. There we go. Now gamble away to your heart's content, I guess. Okay, what in the fluff and heck was I doing? I was doing a color code. So... Scoring code is going to be a scoring number code. Well, that's close to the green. Almost got it. So now, am I overcomplicating things? As always. Hell yeah, I am. Then you know you've done something, is when it's too complicated to understand. Okay, scoring number. Code, scoring color code. Why does betting on red work so well? Because I'm in the red. There it is! Okay, I feel better. Just hear a couple of notes. Oops, oh no. I can't hear anything anymore. Now can I bob my head to the music though, is the question. Or is my back gonna complain about it? Yeah, this was assuming that those were gonna be integers, but then again, we're gonna try to see if those are gonna be. Because now I want to put in color codes. Which I could do with the hex codes. So it should just be a try parse of something. Right? So if the upgrade maybe? Have I solved the hover thingy? I got Unity to work again. After a restart, it updated the thing just fine. I mean, my non-answer should tell you. No, I gave up and was like, I'm gonna try to get other things working. And now I've gotten lost in trying to add color codes instead. So if up. Well, okay, it needs to parse through each of these to char array. Oh, fudge face. Because I was under the assumption that the code that you're putting in is either whatever this stuff is, or it is a series of numbers. But now, it could be a series of colors. Let me know when you want to debug again. Should try to help. Well, now that you're here, and if you are interested in trying to help, I have broken my code, so... let me quickly fix it. Okay, I hit save, bugger off. Fix the code and let's debug. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you are down for it, we can work on it. I can work on adding color later. Okay, so the issue that we were having was the thank you for the notification there. So after running the game, go to the event system. Okay, game is running. And then event system is here. Disable component input system UI input module. I'm glad there's text so I can just read that. Input system UI input module and add component standalone input module. Input system UI input module. And then add the standalone input module. And it will explode. Okay, so we're gonna ignore the 500 errors here. Now hover over something. And then this should... it doesn't appear to be doing anything now. Yours didn't throw errors? You just said it might throw errors, right? It will show you an error field, but ignore it for now. Okay, wait. You were using standalone input module, which uses the old input manager. You were using the new input system and having the old input manager disabled. That will not work. Click the button below to replace this component, which uses the new input system. of which I already have the new input system. So I was gonna say, this is just saying, again, that's using the old that's using the old input system to try to debug it. Like, it's because I don't have the old input system, so it's gonna be unhappy because it's that I'm not using the old input system. So but the fact that the new input system is not popping up with some kind of debug. Old input system is built in. There's no way I'm not using the old input system. Well, and that was the thing. It's like, if I can do this on click, that's making me think that maybe I could just manually catch that. So. Oh, okay. I was just doing that and then didn't. Okay, but I wasn't paying attention to see if this updated. Yeah, I think it's, but I'm using the, whatchamacallit? Yeah, okay, so it's not selecting. But yeah, but the way I'm doing this is I'm doing like a ray cast, I think, that is picking up the thing there. Yeah, there. And then saying, so the ray cast hitting a UI object and then spawning a runestone. So selected looks null. Well, yeah, because it's only if I click on something like that does it actually select anything. Yeah, but these don't have like any kind of selection or anything to them. Oh, my head's in the way? Yeah, okay. Well, I could eliminate myself entirely, right? There we go. Now I'm not in the way anymore. It's because your objects are not inheriting the selectable class. Well, I don't need them to be selectable right now. Like, they're not supposed to be like buttons or anything. The only thing that they're... I just wanted them to be hoverable. I'm gonna forget that I turned off my character there. Okay, but they need to be selectable to debug the hovering. Interesting. Selectable editor. Okay, what version is selectable? Event system current is pointer over game object. And you want me to dump that where? I'm assuming just under an update. And because I dump everything under game manager, we'll do that. Great. Now I'm gonna have that grindstone song stuck in my head. Derp, 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 derp. Okay, let's play some other music before I get that one grindstone track stuck in my head. And then ads, naturally. Okay, but is it gonna pop up with some kind of debug? Oh, this is not a... Okay, so we do a debug message then? And then is pointer over game object. Okay, so now is a debug message. Is that going to... And then do I have a physics raycaster on the camera? I believe the way I'm doing the physics raycasts is just here. Because I think the only thing I have on the camera is... Why did you decide to stop doing anything? Okay, it's not over, so it is over an object. False. Yeah, okay, so everything in the UI is not getting picked up, because I think it would be picking up that as... Oh, but these buttons that are actually Canvas UI buttons are. But yeah, as suspected, it is not seeing anything here. But the rest of these it's seeing as stuff. So it's not seeing anything that's labeled. No, it's not seeing any of this. But it is seeing the canvas. So it is seeing the buttons in the canvas. At any rate. So it told us that everything except this menu is being picked up. And... Because I think even this is labeled... Yeah, that's labeled as UI. That's labeled as UI. Check the camera for a physics raycaster. Are you talking here? Because I was like, my camera controls, I'm not doing any kind of raycasts. Oh, hey look, a physics raycaster that picks up everything. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't think the post-processing should be causing issues. But I think because this is labeled as post-processing. I put U as a UI. What does that do? If everything's UI, and when everything's UI, nothing will be. And yeah, it didn't change anything, but I am a little curious as to why the... No, I think I needed post-processing so I could actually do post-processing effects like shader stuff that I probably just broke by doing that, but I have another camera for the UI ones. UI camera doesn't have a physics raycaster. Oh, this secondary camera does not have a physics raycaster. Ah, I get what you're putting down. You cannot be casting any raycasts because the camera does not have any, because this is a different camera. And yeah, okay, it tells if a raycast is hitting an object and lets the event system know about it, but aha! That has caused some other issues. Oh, okay. So it's like a layering issue or something, but why did you decide to separate from everything? But the actual runestones are where I want them. Weird. Wonkety wild. Hey, we're one step closer. Yay! Now the question is, why did you decide to go off on your own adventure? You guys are all post-processing? Oh, because... Huh? Oh, because when I clicked the switching it back to post-processing, I said change the children. But these I think I want to keep as... Okay, so let's try that then. I also want to help with dynamic tooltip panel scaling. What, you think the same panel size for everything is not good? Because that's accurate. Well, I mean, I think the UI is completely done goofed anyway, too. Because it's like, if I make this screen really big, suddenly the buttons look absolutely tiny. And it's like, they need to make a little more sense here. But I know I was messing with it. It's like, because I had the other version, and that was not working for me. So then I switched to this version, which is also not working for me. So at some point, I'll figure out how to do that. So it suits the game's ugly style. But hey, now I've worked really hard to make it look this ugly. It's not that ugly. It's in the middle. It's a work in progress. It's simple. I did a very, very simple style. I'm doing very mobile game kind of style. I don't know. Everybody keeps telling me that it doesn't look good. And it's like I'm going for maximum conveyance of information. I think it's clear. Hopefully. Right? Even if it doesn't look like much. I hope the game is clear and, you know, you're able to understand it. Gonna try the FTL survivors some more once Replicat is wound down, I guess. Doesn't have a style at all, and it is ugly, yeah. What abstract. The style is abstract. Why, what's with this new, like, shitting on me phase? Of like, nah, your streams have terrible color. Your games have terrible color. Maybe I should hide my face. I should just keep my VTuber hidden, too. The green on the shirt is an ugly color. I like ugly, damn it. Yeah, and that's the feedback I've gotten from game jams and stuff too. Where it's like, the game's fun, but it's ugly. Well, I don't fucking know how to make a good looking game. I'm 50 fucking games in, and it's not fucking happening. And that's why I'm trying to do simple AF. It's like, if the style is just extremely simple, hopefully that is, no cursing. I'm genuinely angry. You don't understand. I really tried this time. I'm trying to make it look like an interesting abstract game. No, it's my inspirations are all done goofed too, because I'm like, look at this mobile game. This mobile game looks super simple and ugly. Yeah, because it's a mobile game. And then the response is going to be like, actually, the geckos are kind of cute. Yeah, I know. I don't know how to... It's not abstract enough to say it's abstract. Finally able to use the no cursing. I do fake curses all the time. I say fluff and heck and goram, fook and balls. Like, I'm using them as curses. There's plenty of things that you could ping me with for, why do I want it to look like a mobile game that doesn't really work on Steam? Well, it's... Well, and I guess even like Plungeroo has its own, like, very specific, Well, and there's stuff like Shapes that is done okay. And... But I guess, yeah, this is a little more specifically abstract. I don't necessarily want it to look like a pinball machine, and a pinball machine has all sorts of different styles to it too. Well, it's 'cause I want like maximum creativity in terms of like you can paint your own pictures and you can make your own little music box and stuff and not be constrained by some of that stuff. I don't know, is it really that ugly? It's sort of simple AF, but like it's not. It's basic. It's a basic fucking bitch, but it's God. When I think of pinball machines, I mostly think of a retro style. Yeah, that's probably like neon and stuff like that too, but okay, I fixed the tooltips, so then it was back to working on the rune stones and stuff. I don't have any strong opinions for what, like, I wouldn't download anything that looks like this, honestly. Well, and I think you said that this isn't your kind of game anyway, so, you know, maybe that's a throw out all your feedback because, you know, you're not the target audience, anywho. Although I feel like you should be the target audience of, like, went and made your own roguelike. That feels like anybody who's making their own roguelike is going to be interested in another roguelike, but... Yeah, and I do like simple abstract stuff, so... 5 games that I like the abstract visual style of, and then you're going to say that that's not abstract enough? Okay, because I even put down some on here for, like... other game inspiration. And I know specifically, like, I read an article that was talking about Cappy, I think. Who does Grindstone? I should flippin' know this, since I've just had so much fun with the damn game. It is Cappy. It is Capybara Games. But I read an article even recently that said the having a theme, like they had like another game or something that didn't have as much theme, and that having a theme helped to sell the game. So, but because I'm also thinking of like board games, which is like board games can have some pretty abstract style too. Do I actually like the visual style of Luck Be a Landlord? Not really. It does use very bright orange though. I do like the very bright orange, but I'm not a huge fan of the very simple pixels and stuff. Balattra's abstract, right? It's just cards and swirls of color and stuff, right? Now I'm just pulling up all of the inspirations for the game. Okay, yeah, Railbound is definitely not abstract. Grindstone's definitely not abstract. I could probably look up abstract on... yeah, it's got a fantasy theme to it. That was not an inspiration. Yeah, it's got the dark fantasy kind of theme to it. Yeah, and then a lot of these do have a theme too, so... Go Mecha Ball is pretty abstract too, right? That's kind of that pinball style. Ballionaire? Ballionaire doesn't list itself as abstract though, right? Oh, and it clearly has worlds that it's got like pinball worlds and stuff, so... Worditro? And I know there's, like, I think Lexus Spell looks pretty good, and that has, like, a very specific color palette, too. Oh, bugger off. I put it in... Okay, right? It's a... Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting into stuff like Suika game and stuff. I'm trying to get to this. I'm trying to get to this kind of thing. What's another one? No, Ringer is a little too simple. Brawl Stars? Brawl Stars isn't... Well, I don't know. Because the characters are kind of... Yeah, no, this is not abstract, but I do like the visuals, if that counts for anything. Yeah, okay, that's not abstract either, even if it is like that kind of... Did I like the visuals of Rogue Glass? Not really. Because they were going for a very like complicated stained glass look for a lot of these things. But yeah, I could show like a whole bunch of inspirations. Oh, Block Blast. Yeah, see, then we get into the mobile games, and I'm like, ooh, simple-looking mobile games? Which is, again, why are you trying to make it look like a mobile game? And I'm like, because it looks simple, and I like this simple style. I'm determined to make a bad game. I am a guy who makes bad games. We're leaning into it now at this point. No good games here. I have subpar on my stream for a reason. No good games here. I don't know, because it's something like Future Vibe Trek. I think he's actually shooting himself in the foot because they're going for this, like, meditative sort of look. But then the game is like a factory music game, of which I don't really associate a guy meditating as, like, let me make any kind of factory music thing. This is a very music-heavy game, and they're adding a layer of theming that I don't think works, personally, so... We're here to fix it. Well, and some of it is just because I haven't... Like, adding some texture would probably help. But yeah, like, Plungeroo is a major inspiration. So there was some of that I was trying to do, of which, yeah, texturing the objects would probably help. Personally, I don't think Luck Be a Landlord looks very good, but Balatro was another major inspiration, so... And then Amaze, as much as I probably should not be looking at mobile games for their visuals, is another inspiration. Yeah, I guess Go Mecha Ball here didn't do incredible necessarily. And also, I haven't played it. Despite wanting to play it, I have not played it. Yeah, this is trying to look like the inside of a computer or the inside of a machine or something. Yeah, and I can kind of send the list and stuff, so... Yeah, it's... I like things that are ugly. Look at this. These painfully bright colors on a background with like some weird looking dude and stuff. Okay, I think I'm done looking at things here. Oh, and this is just like actual golf worlds and stuff. Yeah, and this is not out yet. Okay, but I can kind of share the link to all of this stuff too, if that also gives a sense of like the visual style and stuff. But like I said, I think like future vibe check is also hurting itself by not really matching up, but I don't know. I don't flippin' know. Well, I just discovered I'm listed as a vendor for an event that I never got a kind of confirmation that I've been accepted for. Congrats, I guess? Were you just in their system from having done a bunch of other events and then said, hey, you know... So you're just saying I don't have a weird enough shader in the background. Is that what it is? My shader in the background is just not weird enough? I did polka dots. It's supposed to look like some weird, it's the new dragon one. Oh. Worditro doesn't have a weird shader either. Yeah, it does. Look, there's dots in the background. There's polka dots in the background, even. But if we're talking like this kind of look, I think I could come up with a couple other... What did Game Maker's Toolkit do for his game? He didn't put it under... Why am I blanking on the name of his game? If we're talking these word games. But this is vaguely the kind of look I'm going for, is something like this. And yeah, I know I'm not hitting it just yet, but... I guess I could do a lot more dark. Steam does like its dark, kind of scary things. There's another word game that I really liked the look of. That also does very much like the Balatro kind of thing. That's another like Scrabble roguelike kind of thing. This one? OMG, a word? Is that what it was called? OMG words, there we go. Yeah, there. I was like, because this is kind of the aesthetic that I've done so far. So. Yeah, Dominova. Yeah, Dominova was definitely another one that I very much like looked at that visually and said, yeah, this is, I like this a lot. But again, every time I look at a game that I'm like, I like the look visually, it also has not sold well, so. But like I said, this is kind of close to what I got going, so. The visuals don't look like OMG words at all. Well, I mean, the shadows aren't as harsh, and the... I'm working on it still. It's... Yeah, they do have a lot of pixels in here. I'm not doing pixel art, so... Okay, and now if I just full screen this... Well, okay, these menus are still a little work in progress. I'm not done with that. Okay, maybe if I did something more with the buttons. I don't really know, though. I guess I don't want it pixel art. No, I don't. Because I'm doing 3D. I don't want it to be pixel art. Yeah, I've definitely done the pixel art look, and yeah, the lighting is very harsh here, and I don't know if I want that harsh of lighting. I don't know, maybe the lighting also does help the things pop off of the board too. Which I had for a bit there. I don't know, is it the UI is throwing it off? Is that what the complaint is that the UI doesn't look good? Or is it the components are unfinished? Because the components are also unfinished too. It's not, I'm working on it. I don't know how to fix it, but I'm working on it. What was there's an Communite is also another one that I do like the look of, which is not entirely the same kind of game, but it is that kind of simple grid-based like icons and thing. Yeah, with the rounded buttons and stuff. Okay, do I want to... I wasn't trying to fix up the visuals. I was just trying to get the tooltips working. We got the tooltips working because we figured out that I just didn't have the flipping thing there. So at the end of the day, I want to go watch Furiosa so that I can be ready for watching Mad Max Fury Road tomorrow. Not that I need to watch both of them, but... I love Mad Max Fury Road, and I haven't seen Furiosa so in a year, so... Yeah, and you only offered help for tooltip scaling? Well, and then I could be mean and say, well, you just keep sending me AI images. If AI is the aesthetic that you think looks good enough to send me. I know those are all like feeling out ideas and stuff. I just want to lash out because, again, you're right, and I don't know how to fix it. That's the thing. It's not that I'm It's not that the game looks ugly and unfinished. I understand that. It's the fact that I don't know how to fix it. Is that I don't know what to do to make it look better. It just... Yeah, I could pick some different colors, but I'm like, that doesn't... Which I have the color palette swap. Like, I could do that. I don't think that'll help much, though. And I like the clarity of the other colors, but that's because I'm dumb. Yeah, it's like I said, I could do a different color palette. Let's see if that appeases the masses. Being Brainoid. Wait, that makes it sound like Brainoid is fat. It's not really what I was trying to get at. Yeah, okay, and then I'm like, I'm not feeling that either. I like I like bad colors. I like bad art. There's other people that like that too, right? And then the more I make of this game, the more I'm like, I don't think I'm trying to sell anything. Because it's not going to happen. It's not going to turn out well. Oh, well, now there's... Yeah, okay, but you can still only do one bumper in a spot. Wait, I could do that, though. But that gets rid of the... I can't actually combo. Wait. Now I could do that with this new bumper setup. Aha. Well, as you can tell, as I am still changing the size of the bumpers and stuff. Oh, and then it's not scoring right because it's only big red buttons. Oh, meaning this is coming through. You like my bad art? Yay! I know there's people that like my bad art. It's just... I would like to make it good art. No, like I said, it's the fact that I know, yeah, you're right. I probably should not have completely bright orange on all of my stream frames and stuff, but then that's a whole thing of like, well, how do I rebrand everything? And And then it's like, do I want to do that before AwesomeCon? And I'm like, nah, no, I'm good. Okay. I was trying to finish the, like, make it so that I could score reds. But that was it. And it's because I have 3 different things for... Okay, so you and... I'll faff about with the objects and the colors and stuff at some point. This points to that I'm thinking about an aesthetic, right? I know it's not finished. I don't... It's because I want it to be simple and clear, but I also want it to look compelling, and I don't know how to hit those 2 things at the same time. I don't know. It's like maybe I could just make these objects like physically and then take a picture of it and see what that looks like in real life and then try to mimic that or something. Okay. I was trying to... How do I figure out whether it's a hex code or not? Because... Okay, and then I need to copy the red and put that in as the hex code here. Am I gonna copy the basic red? Yes. We're not doing an aesthetic until I don't know. I'm just gonna complain. That's my plan. Because I eventually hit a point where I'm like, okay, no, this is the reason I was resistant was because then I go and find the answer. I just haven't found the answer as to why. Why do I have the base of the buttons and the pipe gray, for example? That's extremely ugly. What, you don't like gray? What's wrong with gray? It goes with everything. Well, what color would you suggest? What color do you want? I could switch it out. I think it's because I kept messing with the colors. I messed with black, and then I messed with white, and then... So that's why... What, gray's ugly? It's simple. It's not interesting, but it's... Oh, it's like, because this had like a pipe kind of thing, and I was like, no, it doesn't. It just has the tiny little coin slot in the back, but I guess that has something to it there. Yeah, okay, releases at the end of March. It sounded like a lot of people were excited about the demo for this, so... it's not about changing that one color, and you know it. Yeah, I don't... It's because I keep, like, I made a whole system for switching out color palettes, and then I tried a couple color palettes and didn't like them, so then I was like, I'm just gonna stick with the basic colors. So... So yeah, I've been messing with the colors. I've been thinking about it. I just haven't found anything that has really spoke to me. So. Oh yeah, I think this is where I was trying to steal the colors off of Replicat at one point, because we had this conversation that the game looks butt ugly, and I'm like, well, I am not happy with the changes, so... And then all of my inspirations are also butt ugly, because I'm looking at mobile games that are butt ugly. So... I mean, I had Automatoys pulled up earlier. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say, this is a game that I think looks fairly pretty. And this is basic AF. Yeah, I guess each of these has some kind of certain color palette that is not just basic garish colors, so... I don't know. All of my inspirations are ugly, so that's why I'm making an ugly game. There's your answer. Why did I choose gray? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm still fucking figuring it out. So we're going with basic AF until the moment where it's figured out, which is never gonna happen because it's never gonna be finished. I'm gonna have another year or two spent on a bad game that I'm not gonna finish, and then I'm gonna repeat that until I die. That is the plan. I have forgotten again entirely what I was doing. I'm just trying to get it to say if the fucking color is red, add number. And then I'm distracted with the fact that, yes, again, I know I made bad art again. It's never gonna get any better. I've had 15 fucking years to figure out how to do a job. And I can't hold down a job, so I've spent... I guess only, well, okay, 2012, so to 2026. Technically, I think some of those Game Maker games were before that, but if we take 2026 minus 2012, I've had 14 years how to make good games and good art, and it hasn't happened. I don't think it's gonna happen. Once you hit past a decade, I'm like, I hit 30, I hit 10 years out of college, I don't think it's gonna happen. This is me. I have solidified. I'm just grumpy now. That's it. I'm just grumpy. And then I've been eating way too many snacks and sugar and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, look, I'm gaining weight now, too. And not in like a... Okay, it was under the flippin' thing here. Well, and then the code is an absolute... the code base is an absolute disaster, too, so... And then I show the game to somebody, and they're like, this is really interesting. This is really fun. And I'm like, fuck me, dude. This is why I'm still working on it. I need to just stop showing people the game. And then they can ask, hey, what happened to that? And I'll be like, it's same as the rest of this stuff. I just don't have what it takes to finish anything. Okay, it was this, where it's like the numbers. How do I determine whether it's a... Because this is to a character array. It's not like a two-color array, right? That's not a thing, right? No. Wait. This is... No, character, not string. It's not a string array based on whatever... Although... How do you do the comma-separated values? Split. There we go. Split based on separator, which in this case is the... let's actually put in the character. Wait, character or string? Okay, no, that's the separator, is the comma, and then the count is as long as the string is. How do you do that again? No. Code. Count. There we go. Okay, so as many things that are in there. So that's a string array. And then this is where I'm gonna say for each string. Well, what would be the item in the array? Man, I'm I'm doing it right in terms of having people that are gonna push me to be better and do better. But that's not a good feeling. I can see why Trump wants to surround himself with a bunch of sycophants that say you're the best, because That's a lot easier to deal with than... I know I did it wrong. I know I did it bad. I don't know how to do it right. Can I just say, I'm a big dummy dumb, and everybody say, hey, that's okay, good job? Okay, this is not num, this is the item? What's a single thing in a list? Splits it into what? I don't know, it's string? No, I can't just call it string. Item, I don't know. Okay, so now it's gonna be if it is here. Okay, yeah, you're looking for a list of... Okay, so now if I say the item dot toString... No, toColor? There's no toColor. You can... No, you can... You can flip and do this, right? Color? No. There's a way to do, like, string to color, right? And I'm blanking on it, so... see, I'm trying to make my way to the island. I'm trying to get myself put on a list, is that what you're saying? Ruh-roh. That dipshit is probably not something to aspire to. You're doing your best. I don't want to do my best anymore. My best doesn't seem to cut it in the real world. I'm gonna do my worst. Okay, I don't need all of these things up. I don't need all of these inspirations to show here's how you actually make that aesthetic work. Maybe. Some of these I don't think. Like I said, as cool as Luck Be a Landlord is, I don't think that's a pretty game. Why is this a link? Why does this seem to be a thing? Okay, I'm glad that I can't reach that as a site. It just saw the .com and then tried to make it into a site. Although I think it is kind of sad that the president is somebody that you don't want to aspire to be. It's just like that was a friend talking about voting for Trump, and it was just like, you have a child. Do you want your child to say, "Hey, I'm gonna be like the president"? And at least the president, I felt like used to be something to aspire to, but. Cool abstract game that's making use of ugly visuals being Pickle John. Yeah. Okay, wait. If I look at my games, what is the best looking game of the bunch? Yeah, it's just because of the like. What did anybody say? Here's a. I don't know. Maybe I should go on to the indie game clinic and say, my game is ugly and I'm stupid. Can somebody make me make it look better? But yeah, out of 40 games, it ranked 39th. Yeah, it has stylish visuals. It ranked 36 out of 40 games. It's like, yeah, okay. Clearly, that's not cutting the mustard. That's not happening there. What was it? Was Snowman Factory. It was the other one that got rated well in terms of gameplay and then just not in terms of visuals, right? This was the other one that was like rating wise, yeah, 11th visually. I don't remember how many games were in this. I think there was only like 15 or something. That's the submission. Can I go back to the 14 entries? Yeah, 14 entries. The game ranked 3rd in terms of theme, and like 4th and 5th, and then visually 11th. So it's again, it's. I just. Yeah, audio was not great either. Because I even remember that I started the like fancy Unity HD high definition render pipeline for the snowman thing, just because I wanted to try to make a better looking game. And then I went and booted up Paint 3D and tanked all hope of that ever happening. Yeah, I was like, at the depths he sank the country to, reputationally, if nothing else. No, he's pretty sure he's been ranked as worst president. Like, not even like a question, just worst. And there was definitely not some good. There was some not so good presidents in there. Because I can't remember the name, but there was one of them that was just like he went and ransacked the White House with his friends, basically. Kind of like what Trump is doing, but. And I know there's stuff like Bush is just like a guy who just kind of skated on his name and got into the White House, and has definitely said some. Man, that was like the terrorists keep thinking of ways to hurt the American people, and so do we. It's like, that's not the full quote, but there's a whole site for like Bushisms, so it's like there's been some not so great presidents, so the fact that Trump is in there. It can nothing bad happen, it can only good happen. That's gnomes.com? You'd think they would have more than one gnome. If they have the S in the site. Only one gnome on gnomes.com? It should be gnome.com. What are they doing? What a bunch of bull. Because it definitely wasn't a bunch of gnomes. Gnomes.xyz for $10,000. Why? Why so much? That seems like such a big number for .xyz. Who puts in .xyz? Okay, that's what I was trying to look up. I'm in full-on yapping mode because I'm just grumpy now. Because I keep having it told to me, like, your games are pretty fun, but they're butt ugly. But I tried. I tried to make it look good. I need a friend who knows how to do art. That can do the art for me, because apparently... Never said the game is fun. What, you couldn't miss the opportunity to rub salt in the wound? Wait, not only is your game ugly, it also isn't fun. Oh, gee, thanks. This explains why you're here. I kept wondering, why is Brainoid here? My stream is ugly and headache-inducing. My games are ugly. My games aren't fun. And it's, because trolling. There we go. Duh. Because you can just come and bully me and be like, oh, you know that game that you made? I made it better in the same amount of, even less time. I only had half the time you did, and I made a better game with the same ideas. Okay, if it's so much, it has to be popular, so it better be fast or else it'll be taken. Well, yeah, you gotta be fast now. With AI and stuff too. It's just like if there's a well, because it's like mobile games, like Pixel Flow came out recently, and there's so many, like, I think there's a few different competitors already. Did it say when this came out? Yeah, because this came out and then they also got bought by another company already. That's updated. Give me the flippin' release date. This is not even what I was trying to look up. I was trying to look up string to color in C#. That's what I was trying to look up, and then I got distracted yet again. Because I am having fun being angry. That's the other problem. I like yelling about things. It's not healthy, but I like being grumpy sometimes. Released in August. Oh, so it's been a while. I guess it's been about 6 months, but I feel like there's already some 6 months. This is a pretty simple game, though. It's just like... color from name? Color translator from HTML is also... Oh, wait. Let's do Unity. Here because vicariously I feel like I'm a good dev seeing slightly worse ones. That was the thought too. It was like, oh, I can mentor this person. He has absolutely no clue what he's doing. I'm here to help. And by help, I mean point out every single flaw. Oh. Color utility to try parse HTML string. Is that? Oh, this is somebody created an extension class to do that. Okay, but the color utility to try parse HTML string. I thought there was something. Okay, so color utility try parse HTML string. Okay, well, just add it then. Probably this one. No, just can you just add the thing using Unity Engine color utility? Just add a using at the top. I thought that's what you were gonna do. That's what I need, right? Or if I added a using at the top, it's gonna explode because something else is trying to do. I doubt there's anything else that's trying to do. Try parse what? No, I can't do it as a using, but I can do Unity Engine dot color utility to try parse HTML string and then give it the string and the color. Wait. Oh, and then out color. Yeah, okay. Sure, whatever. Okay, and then the string is the item. And then this is, yeah, returns a bool. So then if it does not parse it into a color, then... Okay, so if it does parse it into a color, it's a color. If it doesn't parse it into a color, it's a number. So then you are going to add that. Does char exist anymore? No. Item. No, num. Num was... Oh, that's why you're complaining about num not being a thing, and I'm not here right now. What are you fluffing mean? Okay. To char array. But it is a character. If it's not a... Great. But then you're a whole list of characters. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll go through each of them, which there's only one. That's the thing. Okay, well then I could make it a character array and then pull the one character because there should only be one character. And then say the first item in the list because there's only one. There we go. Okay, now That was if... Okay, so is color. Yeah, that's what makes me scared too. It's just like I spent so much time doing making bad games, and that's all I want to do. And I can't hold down a job long enough to... Yeah, but then they said Undertale was made using no switch statements and only if and else. People can get away with making bad code for good games. Maybe I can get away with making bad code for okay games. Hopefully more than okay. No, we're gonna be positive. They're gonna be better than okay. They're gonna be above par. That's as high as my brain can aim. Okay, so then is color is true. Here is color is false. You guessed correctly. And then at the end here, if it is a color, then do that. Otherwise, do scoring number code. Is that, and then here, scoring color code. Okay, is this dumb and bad? Yes, I don't fucking care. I'm not. I'm not strong enough. What is this, a workout to you? Yeah, I didn't realize how many times I've watched The Incredibles, and then my quotes just end up turning into, let's just quote all of the Incredibles again. Okay, I don't know that I'm feeling the vaporwave either. Wait, do we have, did I put Gnome in here? Oh no, that's probably a little too well known. There we go, some metal. I'm not typically a metal guy, but... And again, this is kind of, not fully metal, but sort of metal. Okay, now what in the fluffin' heck was I doing? And then I stand in that one position, and I'm like, ow, it's going like straight down. I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy. It's all Incredibles quotes. All the way down, except not Incredibles 2, because Incredibles 2 sucks. Why are you bitching and moaning? What? Again, I didn't change anything. Okay, Unity Engine.random then. I said I didn't think I didn't change anything. You didn't want to fix it for me? You do all this other fixing for me, and then I typo one thing with a capital. And it's like, that's a different word. Okay, so... out color, so then code.add, and you're a list of ints. That's a list of ints. Okay, so how about a num code? Just to make sure that this is in fact that. It's a new list of ints, but then I'm saying for each. I feel like I goofed something up here. Huh? I make it a new list, and then I'm splitting a code that doesn't exist? No, upgrade. I want to collect everything from upgrade, not... Okay, I'm glad I did that. No, length. Thought something looked a little funky. There we go. So yeah, split the list of things into, based on the commas, into, in this case, possibly a list of colors or a list of numbers. Okay, so now, sure, color list. Now, I called it code. We're gonna keep the convention, despite the fact that it's stupid. I'm so grumpy. You've made me so grumpy, pointing out my flaws that are actually there. That's always the issue. That's the wrong flippin' thing. Because I know I have flaws. I just don't know how to fix it. Away, away, away. My back hurts. My kidney hurts. Stupid and old and... grumpy and... What else? What can I complain about? I got fungus on my toe. It's been there forever. I got over the cold and the sickness that I had. Let's see what else. Add the color. That's literally it. There we go. Okay, so now hopefully that'll separate out. I have a list of colors and I have a list of numbers. So whatever I put in there, hopefully it'll spit it out. Okay, so what if I put in... I do appreciate the honesty, though, that says, hey, your stuff is ugly. Because what I've actually come up with... what I've come across actually putting my game into the real world, and people have given me feedback, they've also said, hey, your stuff is ugly, so... Okay, I just need the color, the hex code for red. That's all I'm looking for. Or a better red than bright red, but I don't... And I want you again. Oh, and you were pulling a different color. Okay, the way I have you, and then I'm pulling off of this second color palette for the runestones. Okay, and then here I can infect it with bright ass red because I am incapable of. Honest is here because you want me to be successful too. I understand that. I know it's tough love. It's just I don't feel like I get much not so tough love. I want to be babied. I want my hand held. I want somebody to tell me, hey, good job. And then I can ignore it and say, no, you don't mean it. Lies. If it's good, it's lies. If it's bad, it's true. And then I wanted to go to the runestone and move things around because... Okay, the red, for red, and red. There, okay. And then, like I said, I want to put that into an Excel and then have that spit out the answers, but whatever. Okay, so now hopefully the red will match up with the red. Sriracha slime. Neat. Guess it has been 2.5 hours. Hey, red! That is kind of bright. That's what I was saying the whole damn time. Okay. So now, that actually isn't. That isn't actually working. Is it? So if I just hit any reds, that's not gonna give me 20, is it? No. Why don't you hit in the flippin', no! Stupid, poorly made games just continuing to bite me in the butt. God balls. Okay. Is the price one working? I want to see if the price one is working, because that is the code that I just changed. In terms of whether it is actually picking up the code or not. Okay, none of y'all. What do you... No! Why are the colors off? The colors should match up, you dumb. No! Why is this initial one? The colors are different. The colors should be the exact same. What do you... No! Why do I persist? Why do I keep trying to make this work? So 5, 2, 1. Can I get it to score that? 5 and then 2 and then a 1? I give up. I'm done. I'm gonna spend the weekend making a different game because screw this. We're not gonna say that was actually the plan the whole time. But okay, so this, if I hit... Huh? Rolling over an ascending set and descending set of numbers. That's... Why is the text off? Because the text... What do you fluffing mean? Did I not move one of the things? Because that's very, very possible. I just thought I clicked all 3 of them. Red. Consecutive, and then... Why did that mix that up? All I wanted to do was put red at the top here, and then put these under that. That should have matched up, but then here, you seem to say, no, it didn't. This stupid fat hobbits is... That's me. That's me, alright. I have a lot of halfling vibes. Like I said, I've been putting on weight because I keep having snacks and second snacks. And what do you fluffing mean? Okay, palindrome. That's rolling over a consecutive pair of numbers or colors scores 50 points. That's not what that is. Okay, the text. The text on this object is wrong. Why is the text on the object wrong? Where are you pulling the text from that you're screwing that up? Text is the name. The name is the info that's being passed in. They're all using the same... Oh, no, they're not. You're not a child object of the other thing? You're not. Why? What do you mean? It's a variant. It's a UI runestone. It's a variant that just has the UI stuff. I don't need to be remaking this in 2 different places. Why? Huh? You just don't have... the other one. Pair. You just decided to not have pair for some reason. Oh, did I not hit apply on that other thing? That might have been it. I just needed to hit apply and then I would have... Okay. Let's just try that then. Prefab being you. And then I hit apply. Yeah, because I was doing it in this scene here. Which I thought should have applied it to all of the variants. I can't. I don't. It's just not possible. Later I can spend my time in Gnome Lands. Well, I took so long looking at this. Go bigger, go gnome, shop all gnomes. Uh-oh. Why would you send me this? Oh, it's a rainbow gnome. Although I am glad that I didn't immediately show this on stream, because it's immediately giving me like, oh, here's a gnome with her tits out, here's a gnome with the ass out. There was a time when I was like, okay, when I make this board game a real thing, because it had gnomes in it, I was like, I'm gonna buy myself a gnome as like a reward, and then I never did because I never made it. There is. You only had normal ones. Well, I scrolled through a few. I was just scrolling down from the top there. Oh, I clicked shop all gnomes, and then I just scrolled down from the top. Oh, and it just decided to... Now I'm not seeing the topless gnome. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just missed it. Did I've seen gnomes at night. I don't think I have that one. Well, it is a site that's just all things gnome. Okay. So you guys are red. You guys, that's palindrome. Right? That is the correct... Well, okay, it's matching up again. Yeah, pair is this. Don't do this to me. What do you... What? What is the tooltip even... How did... No! Why? What? Why is everything broken in a new way every time I mess with it? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm getting pretty close to, like, I'm just going to go for a walk. I'm going to eat some food. And hopefully things will be a little bit less broken, because that's what I did earlier today. Okay, so is it going to score any points when I hit red? I highly doubt it. No, okay. But, palindromes? Is the palindromes going to flip and work either? 343 or something. Yeah, okay. I think I'm done yelling for now. I want to come back and stop yelling. 3, 2, 3. Okay, just clear the bumpers and then do 3, 2, 3 and see if that does a palindrome. I know I tested it at one point and it worked, and now it's not doing it because it's probably also this awkward AF button or bumper setup that I have. And then it didn't hit the 3. Okay, no, I think I'm done for now. I'm too grumpy to continue. Did I have any success? No, nothing is working. Okay, maybe we go back to stop. I'm going to stop trying to put the bumpers on top of the things. What was the line that I changed to do that? That's probably a lot of code I should just get rid of at this point. That was this. So that was just saying if there is... Oh. There. Okay. So now the bumpers will be back to normal. And then do I want to set the... Oh, well. Maybe not normal. I think I... Yeah, this is game development. It's just a struggle. Every time you touch it, it's broken. in some new way. Yeah, I do understand that. It's not gonna be like that for long, though. AI's gonna come and make it all different. I'm not gonna say better. Well, I'll say different. It's the one that I did not need to change. No, okay, it's the idle. Back to the bumper. I know some of the extra grumpiness is just coming from the fact that my back hurts too, and I'm like, I don't know what I did. I don't know why it hurts. It just is not happy. It's like the idle is. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now that should be back to what it was, right? Because it seemed to work a little better bumper-wise and button-wise if it doesn't. Okay, so price. If I try to hit a 5, a 2, and a 1, how easy is that to do? It's not. Okay, let's get rid of the 4 and the 3. In this case, let's just get rid of the 4. Okay, then I can go this way and do 5. And now, why is that so wonkety? Why did you... Yeah, I changed the animation. Why do you have to show me that I changed the animation so much? Apparently. Okay, 5 and 2 and 1. So if I hit a 5 and a 2 and a 1, it's gonna do jack diddly, and I'm gonna be confused and angry. I am now confused and angry. Why is nothing scoring or doing anything? Okay, palindrome. If I add this to... Why is the tooltip getting stuck like this now? You're doing the opposite of what I want. You're doing no tooltips here and then doing tooltips here. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. It's just... So now theoretically I should be able to hit a 5, a 2, and a 1, and that should work. Or I could hit like a palindrome of some kind somehow, maybe? 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2. I'm not seeing any of that. 5, a 2, and a 1? How do I get over to the 1s? So if I do this, and that, and this, and that, and that, and that, and that, and then it's not going to hit the price. This was working at one point. I didn't change anything. I did change. I literally just changed something. And now it's not working anymore. Okay, don't change anything then. That's the secret to success. Don't change anything. It worked once. Don't change it again. Okay, and then the red is not gonna score. Okay, so yes, I broke everything. Why do you think? Think of what we changed. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to double check and make sure that I did in fact break everything, so... Oh, I didn't have an add a color code, did I? That would also make a difference. There's no add sequence? Oh, there's this other add sequence, which is not this add sequence, which, okay. So public. Add a color. Code. Yeah, I know that was definitely one of those, like, somewhat embarrassing interview things. It's like, okay, we want you to solve this coding problem, and it shouldn't take you too long. And then it took me longer, and longer, and longer, and then it was like, okay, well, I can't stay here and watch you code this anymore, so I'm gonna leave, and then you could finish it later. And it was like, I don't want to finish this. If this was supposed to be done in this amount of time and I was too slow and stupid to finish it, why are you having me finish it? want to add to the code count. Not really. Wait, I still have add code? Didn't sequence detector have like a... Okay, I think I'm done. I'm a little too tired, a little too grumpy. And... Okay, let me do a version that is the color code. So yeah, I just didn't finish this. That's why it's not working, is because I didn't finish it. But then the other stuff broke too, which is also not great. But then once I finish this, then maybe. Then maybe I will have complicated everything and continued to not make anything fun. Yeah, but I know it's also the part of me that wants to just be hyperbolic every time, too. That's definitely, like, a thing that I learned from my dad. It's just, like, it's... Gotta go all or nothing. Oh, you did! You got the roller coaster up onto the screen again. At least it's not, like, horribly all over everywhere. That's num codes. Is there color codes? No. I've been drinking water today too. I'm like, why? Again, not enough pain to do anything about, but it doesn't feel good. Okay, I'm a little too tired and grumpy to be continuing this, and yet here I am continuing this. Yeah, then go maximum, like, toxic streamer. It's like, ha, you're watching me anyway. Doesn't matter what I do, you're watching me anyway. And then I earn... I never did look at how much money I'm making from the streams now. Which is like cents, but still. So I guess technically I have an income. But yeah, picking pennies up off the ground is not a regular income, and it's not enough to live off of, that's for sure. Okay, so there is one reference to adding a color code, so maybe that'll... made like $3 from Hightail mods. It's not much, but it's not nothing. There's a guy in New York City who goes around digging through the grout on sidewalks for money. Pretty sure it was New York. Well, and when you say a guy, do you mean somebody who posts on social media about all of the coins that they dug out of the grout? Because that's where you're getting your actual money from, is the social media account of... No, okay. So an actual, like, don't think he's on social media? Well, then how do you know that there's a guy that, oh, people post about him, though. Okay. Because I know there's a lot of people that do the, like, like metal detecting and stuff. Okay, are we just gonna hope that it works? Yes. Is that a good way to code? No. Do I want to think about it? No. Okay, so you're supposed to be rolling over a red button scores 20 points, which that's not happening. So, the full flow of this is that in the prefab, or in the game manager and the score manager are in the prefab here. Well, okay, so when it spawns a runestone, so it is what it's doing. So spawn runestone. So it makes a runestone, picks the color palette off of the thing, initializes the runestone, which I think you're supposed to be setting the color for the... Yeah, color is equal to the color palette. Oh, no, okay, it's passing in the color palette from the game manager. Okay. He could get a lot of money doing it from panning, a lot being like 20 to 50 bucks a day. That's not nothing, but that's not a lot either. I mean, if you're trying to aim for like $7 an hour minimum wage, then... Wait, how far off from $7 minimum wage is if you get 50 bucks a day? So that's 7 hours at minimum wage. Which I think goes to show how low minimum wage is. So, a lot more than someone might expect. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're just digging coins, or you're just digging money. Yeah, that's definitely not anywhere to live off of, but that's at least some money. And I guess it helps clean up the... I think what you'd really want to do is get hired to help clean up the park, or help clean up... Like, you get hired to get rid of trash. And then if you get some money on the side digging around, then that would be the way to go. That's enough for food. He's a homeless guy, pretty sure. No, that would make sense if it is a guy who's just scrounging around in gutters and stuff on a regular basis to at least earn food money. I was trying to debug stuff. I don't want to do that. Okay, so initializing the runestone, just the color palette, the name, the description, the upgrades, and then evaluate the upgrade. That's where it's doing the... here, which is where I really need to start doing the, like, attach it to Unity and then step through this to see what it's doing. So is it adding the color code at all? Oh, try parse HTML. Okay, wait. Try parse HTML string. Do I need to have the hashtag on the front of this? I didn't do that. That might be an issue. If I didn't put the hashtag on the front and it's looking for the hashtag. Oops. Yes. It needs the hashtag on the front. I stupid. No, I am not detail oriented. There we go. Is that any better? It's just easier to say that I stupid instead of I did not pay attention to the how things work. It's so much easier to just say a label like, nope, I dumb, instead of, no, I didn't put in the effort to fix it. Okay, so now, if I hit the 6, does it do anything? I doubt it. Yeah, number-wise, that didn't do anything. Okay, so now let's just see. Is it parsing this color? Okay, give me the item, actually. Because the split should get rid of the exclamation point, right? Or no? Or not exclamation, the comma. It should remove the comma when it splits it, right? Or am I forgetting how split works too? Which is also possible. That was just a single song. I probably should have found another album again. Okay, so now it's 4 o'clock. It's been 3 hours of stream. So I forgot. Now that I'm doing a little more debugging, let's do. That is not what I meant. You. Nope. You. There we go. Okay, so now you. Let me see the console a little easier. The console will tell me that when it's trying to do the parsing of the color for red. So console. It did find a color. What? You should not be trying to add these. These should not be added to the dictionary. Whoops. Okay, but it found the color. It's happening twice? Why is that happening? Huh? There's only one red here. I can see why price might have happened twice. And the pair didn't do anything? Okay, but it is finding the color. So the color code add color. And then if it is a color, scoring color code. Am I using these for anything? No. I don't know why I have these. So, but the color code, add the color. So how is this color code being used? It's for this. Scoring number code, is this being used anywhere? Okay, 3 references. Scoring color code is being referenced somewhere. No, it's just here. Scoring number code. Okay, this one is being used somewhere. In the game manager. Ah, great. So... Oh, when it spawns a runestone. Ah, so it's not adding color stuff at all. When it spawns a runestone. Oh, I didn't compile this into a thing. Okay. keep wanting to call it quits and take a break and go eat food, and then I'm like, no, finish the thing. Yeah, but I've also had it many times over where I'm like, it should be a small amount of time to finish it, and then I'm like, I'm gonna stay up until I finish it, and then it's an hour and a half to do something that I think should have taken me maybe 10 minutes. Okay, there's just a lot of repeated code here that I want, and especially because I'm about to modify both of these things. I want to make sure I'm not doing that. The only things that are changing is this, but I'm like, how do I easily... Yeah, because the problem is I need you to instantiate, and then it does this. Okay, well then the rest of this will just do a... I don't know, finish spawning runestone. That just seems kind of dumb. Oh, but then I have to pass in this stuff too, right? Yeah, like the spawn position is up there, and then the runestone clone is here. But that's all repeated stuff. I mean, I guess I can pass that in. So... It's just, what do I call it? Because if I call it initialize runestone and stuff, that's... Add runestone? To board. I don't know, all of this is confusing. It's really just finish spawning runestone. Then call it that, if that's what you're... It's gonna be stupid, but then you're writing a little less code. Okay, because now this and that are the exact same for both of those. But now the only problem being I need to pass in the runestone info, which is the runestone. The spawn position. And the runestone clone. I guess I could just pull the info off of that. I guess that slime catcher does. Oh, and then I said okay. Oh, and then it's God balls, and then it uses runestone clone for something. Okay, I'm getting more and more like just fucking. We're just gonna fucking update both of them in the same places. It's stupid and bad, but I don't want to mess with it anymore. So if the scoring sequence is not equal to null, it's a scoring sequence, otherwise it's a code sequence, but then if the code sequence is... that's a scoring number code. Did I have everything made for doing colors too? Because I doubt it. Add a color code. Just the runestone info. Dot scoring color code. And then whatever the name of the thing is. But both of those aren't going to exist on the same runestone. So it's going to add a number code and a color code for a thing that doesn't exist. Okay, well I guess as much as I was complaining about a bunch of... Again, it's a bunch of repeated code that I'm copy-pasting because I'm fucking stupid. I don't... And then if I try to mash it into its own method, then I have to pass a whole bunch of info across the two different things. I'm not good at this. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a game developer. I'm not... It's making me think I should just go work retail or something. But then that doesn't pay enough money to live off of, so... Fucking, I don't know. Okay, so it's adding... At least it looks like it's trying to add... Oh, I added spaces there. So let's get rid of the spaces then. Because that is part of the string. That might also be parsing incorrectly because I've added the spaces. Oh, I added a space on that one too. And then I have to update it on the other thing because I also... Because it doesn't parse over. Because they don't update, and then I made everything complicated because I'm stupid. I just want to repeat that because then I don't have to... If I just label myself as stupid and bad, then nobody expects anything of me. That's why it's so tempting. I label myself as subpar, then the expectation is set, so... Not necessarily better than what you have right now, but at least it has character. That looks very brainoid. From the games I've seen and the stuff that I've played. It's funny how very brainoid it looks. But yes, it does have character. Yeah, not a graphic designer. But no, I can kind of see what you're saying about, like, it doesn't have as much of an aesthetic. Well, and I don't know, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot with this Fredoka. I feel like the Fredoka is nice and clear and readable, but... But it shows if you actually work with... yeah, if I actually work with a graphic designer, then I can make something that looks a little more interesting, so... Setting some rules and choosing a nice palette. I like this nice bright orange background, though. This is feeling kind of like Blue's Clues to me. Not that I've ever really watched a lot of Blue's Clues. And, when you were dealing with the self-deprecation, it's called lamp shading. I was like, I probably should know the term if that's the thing that I'm doing here. Oh, okay, you're talking about self-aware comment about own foibles usually as a joke in dialogue. Which I that kind of thing drives me nuts in, whatchamacallit. Oh, it's the orange from OMG words. Okay. It's a form of self-soothing, because at least you make it clear to others that you know you're aware of your flaws. Well, and it's definitely not something I would do, because I've seen it done in, like, I can't think, like, well, it's something like yet another, like, roguelike or something. Well, the title of the game is yet another roguelike, where I feel like that it's pointing out flaws that I'm like, it's not something I would do in a game, for sure. I'm like, here, when I'm just kind of complaining, I will do it, but, like, in an actual piece of art, I find unself-aware people to be extra cringe. So, yeah, self-unaware. But no, it's the other way around. In when I actually make a game and I release it, I will not put any kind of like caveat or warning or okay, maybe like a content warning or something, but in terms of like the because it always drives me nuts when I see somebody who says like, "Oh hey, like go easy on me. This was my first game jam ever," and like, because it colors the experience before somebody has even gotten a chance to experience it, and it's like you never know what somebody's coming into this with. So if you say this is bad, then when they actually play it, they're like expecting it to be bad, but. You know, it's one of those things of like, I will sit there and say this game is absolutely awful. You should not play it. You should not look at it. You should not touch it. But I will not say that to a person. I will let them draw their own conclusion about, yeah, the thing is bad. Because, yeah, I think it's just not a great idea to, like, paint yourself into a corner if you don't have to. So. Was I testing something? What was I doing? I was adding color code? Oh, I was trying to see if the red was working again. So I add red. Okay, so this is breaking the tooltip for some reason. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. Why is it toggling it the opposite way? It sounds like it might just be another check that I need to do, but... Okay, so the color code here. No, still not picking it up. But okay, I need to figure out why in the heck it seems to be adding these every single time. 10-minute heads up, as in I only have 10 minutes, which I might just call it quits on the stream and do a raid then. Yeah, I was gonna say, if I've got other plans this evening and those plans are happening now, I do want to, like, piss, and if there is a raid to be done. As in, are people here during the ad break? Yep, okay. I didn't catch it soon enough. There is 5 people watching me be offline. I doubt that. let me update that. Hey, look, I am online. There's 6 people watching me be offline. Okay, so is there a raid target? And then it's gonna be just dump it on them and then run away. I don't remember who that is at all. IRAD. Using Godot. That's something I should do at some point. Retromation having just started a stream there. Goblin. I do like goblins. I feel like I remember this name. I feel like IRAD must have just started to stream. I thought IRAD typically had more people. Oh, I just raided over here the other day. Do I want to raid over here again? Yes, I do.
Let's see if this works.
Okay, yeah, edit shapes tool. Okay, let me pause the music. There we go. But do I enjoy earlier streams? I do. I actually like the getting to stream earlier. I'm awake in the middle of the day. I like that better. I don't know. Later streams work too, and yeah, I'm just doing earlier streams now because I have the ability to do so, and it does let me do more with my evening without feeling bad about like, oh, I spent an evening doing something. Okay, we will go right over here yet again. I will be back tomorrow because I got Furiosa to go watch. I'm so excited. I get to watch Furiosa, and then tomorrow I'll get to watch Fury Road in theaters. Hell yeah. I do like Fury Road a lot. Oh, I guess not console.
Why do you say that? How do you know?
Okay. But we're gonna go right over here. I will be back tomorrow, probably early again. I've gotten all the other stuff out of the way, so I can be
What
back
should I do? I'm not prepared.
early. So, again, it's not a good night, but goodbye. Good luck. Have fun sleeping. Bye.
Yes, it works.
I'm
It
gonna go do that.
works.